Hello, everyone. First off, I'd like to apologize for the Deepwoken moderation team for a shit show of a stream I had before with no scripting whatsoever on my end. I thought I could wing it, but I clearly couldn't. And I'd like to apologize to the viewers because the stream was extremely bad, not formatted at all, but it's kind of expected seeing as this is my first time actually doing anything streaming like or YouTube related. I'll learn in the future. Don't worry about me. Another side note, I will be like entirely just like adding in my own like current thoughts into this because in editing I can now do that. Unlike streaming, and yeah, just expect like my mic quality to change like a lot. My bad if I actually like miss gender any or anyone within this because I recorded this when I was like extremely tired, so I can't do it right. First, I'll talk about Redwolf. Essentially, what he did was he called me a pedophile out of nowhere and led me on in his DMs to literally nothing, which is what I was showing in the screenshots with Achura. Achura is not racist. That was an out of context screenshot. You don't need to like see a screenshot of someone saying that they're racist and then immediately think that they're racist. Yeah. What he did made absolutely no sense whatsoever. He was essentially trying to lead me on into false source of I have the ban proof, and then out of nowhere he was just kind of fucking with me. Honestly, that's literally all I could say. And what I'll say is that I'm glad he's gone, and I'm glad that the mod team actually handled it properly and should continue doing that. Here's where I go into like explanation about how the Cripple Blade situation was extremely stupid. These two moderators wanted to warn Maria for the joke of Cripple Blade. Some can take it like offense to this joke because if you're making fun of a cripple for being cripple, that is actually ableism. But in the context that the image is in, it's not, and it's a reach in general. So I'm not gonna use this as a main point, by the way. The intent behind the action could be seen as mod abuse, and I will probably call it mod abuse because of the intent behind it. The reason why I call it mod abuse here is because it's targeted mod action, which we've been advised to not do. Along with that, it's just like a reach in general. Taking mod action on someone that you just don't like is extremely dumb, and you just shouldn't do it. And I've been encouraging that for ages. Mods are not actually allowed to ban people after they lose a 1v1 or do anything like in game. So if that ever happens, you should probably like point that out because it's not exactly enforced like correctly. This would prompt me to take action and actively make sure that no mods would be able to do this, and if not, I'd constantly like argue with them over it. Generally, jamming would be the mod that I like argued with the most over it. Do this because jamming logs their actions weirdly. This doesn't mean that I hate jamming or anything in particular, and I just kind of wanted to do that. Because I don't have much screenshots, I can't show that though. Back to the Maria argument though, it was entirely biased and I called it out as it was. And essentially what happened was what I'm going to show in the screenshots that I sent. They essentially just said lol, no, fuck off. And I was like, alright, lol, I'll just do it myself and remove his horns. And then that was the end of the argument. From what little I got from that, I knew that they hated him and they just generally like to squabble with him. But I didn't actually know the full story, so I DM'd Maria, and this is what I got. Essentially, what I got was a bunch of people reaching towards the defamation of Lady Maria, and most of this stuff is kind of crazy, so I'll just like shortly compile it. But essentially, the gist of it is they brought up the points that they used against Maria and tried to bring it up to me and expect me to listen to it immediately, like without any context whatsoever. And I caught it out as sus, and I was kind of right. So yeah, what I can grasp from this is that there's a friend group willing to dig for shit to make me and L'Oreal look bad.
We're in the same exact boat, and the same shit happened to both of us. This is proven when I asked Achura for the reason why I get demoted, and she said that it was a compilation of things, which is extremely similar to what happened to Maria. And I'm assuming the compilation that got me demoted was out of context shit that made me look like a bigot or a bigot defender. In advance, if any of these screenshots are blurry, I will post them all in a channel in my Discord. Back to Maria though, they essentially wanted to make me pick an ultimatum where it was like, yeah, this person misgendered, and I was like, all right, yeah, that's cool, but you said the reason why they misgendered is because they don't respect that person as a human being. Which I hear that and I'm like, yeah, no, that's a squabble. I'm not taking sides in that at all, and that should be the right thing to do. But unfortunately, I apparently didn't do the right thing, so I have to take sides. This leads me to Ophelia. This is where I talk about Ophelia. Ophelia is an extremely problematic user, along with Ava and Katirsum, which they essentially just ERP'd in Player General. It was extremely weird. They don't deserve to be unbanned. Period. That's said and done. There was a certain time frame during when Ophelia was active in Player General, where the whole entire chat hated her existence. Every time she'd enter chat, she'd start a riot. People would hate her, and in response, people would get banned for it. But the hate was justified. So this at the same time where people are going and taking it too far or being homophobic, but on the other hand, those people are being lumped in with people who are just calling him out for what he's currently doing. The mod team is really bad at handling situations like that. The reason why I'm pointing it out now is because there are situations where the same similar type of thing is being done, where the insert person is LGBTQ plus and having an argument with someone who is against them, and they get bunched up with the people who are just coming and chatting being homophobic. And that in itself is an issue because when you're arguing with them, it looks like you're banning them because you lost the argument instead of insert thing is homophobic or an homophobic belief, which shows that they don't see it. They don't see it as such, so it'll look bad on the mod team, but it's not actually because they've said worse shit. But at the same time, it doesn't look that bad, and now they can go ahead and say, "Oh, the mod team banned me," which is exactly what I'm pointing out with Ophelia, because it did feel like, oh, she was getting protected by the mod team, especially with the YouTuber role in particular, because she did 100% bought her videos. She got 1,000 subs in a day, I think. But it's crazy stuff like that, where it's weird. It's just no, I don't get it. Not only is it a weird situation to tackle, it's a hot topic. I can't stress that enough. No matter what you do, it will look like you have an ulterior motive whenever you take action off of it. Afterwards, when at the time of me banning Ophelia, I banned Kitirsum, and I never banned Ophelia for the same reason, despite Ophelia doing much worse. And I blame myself for that, and rightfully so, because it shouldn't be biased. It should be same rules for everyone. After the ban, I was questioned by a few of the mods that kind of didn't want me doing actions publicly, which you can see 100%. I do that shit all the time publicly because I have nothing to hide. It's a Discord ban. I shouldn't really care about it that much. Discord bans shouldn't be taken as heavily as they are because it's a Discord game. I mean, Discord ban, not a game ban. If Ophelia ever gets unbanned, that proves exactly what I'm saying because I know for a fact she doesn't deserve it. pedophilia should be taken seriously, and you shouldn't be like hanging around people that do, especially with these people being the type of people who are extremely concerned with who you hang around, because that was also another thing that I had to deal with in the mod team. Mods generally like to associate one person with their house and like have like some sort of back note for it. So like say insert like random mod is in controversial house, you will be like it'll be harder for your recommendations to go through because of say what the background person is or the person that's actually recommending you, and that'll hurt you more than it helps you when you're trying to become a mod, which is kind of hard to get a mod in the first place, which is why I'd encourage more random mods. I'll also, along with that, it's harder to recommend someone if, say, you aren't very active with the Rex or anything similar to that. But like, if you recommend someone, it should be like judged separately amongst all things and like checked with a background check. If there's no data, then it should be judged like reasonably without like ruling it out immediately. This complaint isn't directed towards any particular mod because it is literally just common logic that you wouldn't wreck someone you don't know, but you know that leads to friend groups being essentially the pushing factor behind most mod teams and like their actions and how they do things. That being said, I don't regret meeting anyone as a mod. Most of the mods are kind of cool people. To name a few, there'd be like Heart Gold, Captain Fight, James, Augie, Captain Mars, etc. This being said, having a quote-unquote clique-based mod team is not exactly intentional, but it does exist. And don't pretend that it doesn't, because you know it does. Come on now. This being said, there needs to be a more different way of getting new mods. The mod wave that we had with the first time with the applications was absolutely like painstakingly annoying. But if it actually does like take that in order to be more reasonable with the promotions and who becomes mod, then so be it. I mean, like horror low key had to like stay and like each one by one read like 500 people only like to pro like what four, five, six people, which is kind of crazy. Back to the current system that we have though, you can't just not make an impression on them, but that impression shouldn't be the like sole defining thing that you base the person off of when you haven't spoken to them at all ever or know what that person is like already. An example of this would be, say, if I just got promoted right now, there'd be arguments about how I constantly talk in PGen, which I do it to fuck around, personally. But generally, PGen's people aren't really the best to vouch for mod, and the moderators show that, and I'd say don't judge the person alone from them speaking in PGen or something related to that, or them speaking to insert house. It's interchangeable. They find other things too. It's not entirely baseless. Like I can't say that they're not doing it solely off of that, but I've seen times when they have, and I will call that out because you know that's just weird, and you shouldn't be doing that. Because that also like trickles down into who gets chosen for mod. Another thing, back to Lady Maria, I went and later asked him about most of the stuff because I wanted his point of view, and I don't know if he wants to talk about it, but feel free to ask him anything, I guess, because you know. But otherwise, from what little I know, all I know is that you will see random mods from that circle that will just appear out of nowhere. Say if you're talking about something, and then be like, "Hi, what are you doing here?" Or do some like random vague ass message to make you feel weird or something stupid like that. I don't give a fuck though. Me personally, I don't care. The reason why I'm pointing this out is because of the discussion that Maria had after leaving. I think in Apothecary. Notunes just appeared out of nowhere after never talking in that server for like ages. Literally like what, 14 messages to say stop arguing or discussing drama. which entirely fair, but like it's weird that you're like paying attention to that hard. Cause like what do you want me to do? Just not answer the question? Like I I, I can't be active in a server and then at the same time just like blatantly ignore when someone asks me a question about my demotion, because it's entirely left like under the covers. If you want to like expose it, you can yourself. Like I'm doing that now. That in itself is also why I'll say, yeah, no, me getting kicked out of the mod team feels like me getting kicked out of a friend group with like little like babies like pointing at me. So like, hee, look at him, he's not a mod anymore. And then you'll get like random people from across the world be like, "Oh, why are you demoted? What happened? Tell me the sauce, please." And I'm like, "Damn, bro." And then you like there times like that make me like genuinely regret being a mod. That's just my 2 cents on the Santo click-based mod team claim, because that is true. That's like genuinely undeniable. Like there are certain friend groups in the mod team, which I like. That in itself isn't an issue, but when you have a whole entire like league of friends that are just like, yes, I don't like this person, get him out of here. That's an issue, and that should be concerning. Leads me to what Santo actually did, because what Santo did was fucking stupid. Oh my god. Alright, so essentially what Santo did was he constantly picked fights like incessantly with most of the mod team. Uh, I myself have probably argued with him a bit, but I don't remember since it's probably a year ago. But you know, we like most of the mod team generally just fucking hates him because he loves to play the victim card a whole lot, and along with that, he was given like multiple different chances to change himself for a better person, and each time he did that, he said I would change, and then like 5 minutes later, he'd go back to exactly what he was doing before. Like it got to a point where most mods thought he had dev connections, and that's why he wasn't demoted or whatever he was, and it was extremely concerning. There've been multiple like weird controversies around him, like him trying to investigate quote unquote CP, which I can't get mad at. But like the final decision was entirely warranted because he just did not change, and after he leaked mod chat, that was just like the nail in the coffin. Similarly to me, but like I have a purpose. You'll see him like literally cling on to me like a fucking leech the second I get demoted. He's like, "Oh, they got you too." Like, bro, shut the fuck up. You literally doxed the whole team. You leaked mod chat, which is exactly what I'm doing, but I have a purpose for it. Unlike you, fucking asshole. Is like, yes, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get them this time after I've given like 30 different tries to change myself for the better, and that pisses me off a lot. Not only because they're more lenient with the guy who said he was going to review CP, they gave him like 15 different chances, and they're more active on the guy who they think is a bigot, which is fucked up, and I don't stand for that. Which is why I'm calling out bias, because there are other mods that have leaked chat regardless and have not been banned, and I've leaked literally the bare minimum of what I could have leaked, and I don't know why I'm the one who gets singled out for it and banned immediately and immediately shut out from the Discord. Regardless, though, it's said and done. If they unban me now as like an apology for this video, I'll probably rejoin. Doesn't mean I'm gonna be doing much, but like in general, it's still weird that they do that, cause that tells me a lot, genuinely, cause the guy they trusted 30 different times leaked everything, doxed everyone, and vanished without a trace after cherry picking info from the video he made. and never made an actual argument with proof backing it whenever it was like something that was argued towards his side, which you'll see in the video. I'll link it in the description just so you could like compare the two, because I will literally like give an actual like side by side comparison, because it's kind of crazy, like regardless of if it's exactly what I'm doing right now, because when I do things, I do them completely like organized so that I know that I can't be held liable for other things that aren't mine when I leak stuff. Because I have a whole entire channel dedicated to literally everything I've ever leaked from the mod channel before or ever in my life, in my Discord. And now I'm seeing other random screenshots that are more detrimental than they are helpful that go against me. Like random dates not being actually like sorted out. Like things being like on the Holotide event, but like the in the screenshot, that screenshot like happened so long ago, so it doesn't match. Something's not up like right. I have a whole entire channel dedicated to whatever I've leaked, and now there are more screenshots that are coming out to make me look worse because it seems like I've leaked more than I already have, which is also like absurd because there are people who are doing that right now. I don't know who, but my case looks so much worse because of it. If anyone would need to see the proof of literally everything I've ever screenshotted, period, I have a little dedicated channel for that purpose. Everything else is kind of just, lying around there. But I haven't not leaked anything. And I will stay that way, because I keep my word, unlike someone. As opposed to Santo, who just literally leaked everything for no actual achievable purpose. He just kind of did it as a goodbye note, fuck you. And that's an asshole move, which is why I'll classify myself differently than I do Santo. Yeah. There's literally like no reason, like he didn't get anything out of like leaking chat other than like cherry picking things that were out of context and making it seem like we all just wanted to gang up on him, and that's not true. But that's him playing the victim card once again. It didn't prove anything, and that's why the video kind of fell flat. Essentially, what he did is pissed off essentially everyone, and then got mad that everyone was mad at him in return, which is stupid as hell. And then he went to military camp, came back, somehow a reformed person, immediately does the exact same thing after multiple mods have an issue with him, and got demoted immediately. Now, like, things like that, I'd say, like, horror should do, like, put a exact reason as to why he got demoted and how he should never be promoted again, and make it public, but not, like, public amongst the people, public amongst the mods themselves, because the mods don't know and never know unless they have to like actively harass him for it. When I do things, I do them with a purpose, and I don't want to, but like they kind of left me with this choice, which is also what I'm gonna get into. Because the first time I got demoted, which I should explain right now, essentially what happened was I argued that I wanted to warn for the phrase cracker, and that is targeted harassment, which I wanted to warn for. And nowadays, you'll see them warn for so much less that it's kind of like absurd. Like you'll see someone getting warned for fatphobia, which I don't think exists. You should be bettering yourself as a person if you are fat, because that's not something you are born with. You can change yourself, and you shouldn't be like ashamed of your body, but you shouldn't accept this as who you are. You should probably get better since that is genuinely unhealthy. Like not like it's not urgent. If you're fine and it's not like a critical condition of being fat, you shouldn't be worrying about it as hard. But you shouldn't be getting like heated when someone calls you fat, because that is simply what you are. Like, say if I point out, oh yes, this guy is a cripple, you shouldn't be taking direct offense to that because that is a factual statement. But making fun of someone for a cripple is an entirely different thing. Cripple Blade is entirely just like child's joke. That's like me calling you stupid, fat, ugly, dumb head, and then you taking genuine offense to it, and trying to ban me for it, which is stupid, and that's why I argued for it in the first place. When that happened, I was extremely angry for Maria because like arguing with them was like the most brain rotting thing I've ever done for a while, you know. But like regardless, it is what it is. That also brings me to me explaining how I actually got demoted the first time. So essentially, I wanted to warn someone for the phrase cracker, which two devs immediately came out of nowhere to argue against me for, despite me literally pointing out that if someone were to use it in a harassing term, I would probably ban them or warn them for it, which is entirely fair. I don't know why like that would be argued against, and I even made examples of that with oh, this guy says the hard R, he should probably be banned for that since it's targeted harassment. This guy calls someone else a chink, they should probably be banned for it because it's targeted harassment. Same exact thing. Didn't get through the mods, and I got demoted for it when Rag came into chat, misread what I said as an example, and immediately banned me. But afterward, he said that it was de-escalating the situation, which I can't get mad at him for. But afterward, he kind of just scolded me for it, essentially, like a little fucking baby. But like, didn't explain to me what I did wrong, so that leads me to believe that I've done absolutely nothing wrong. Because holy shit, what did I do? Like, legitimately, what did I do? And that, along with me arguing generally with the same people, probably led to me getting demoted the second time. Because my first demotion was a part of the demotion reason that I had when I got demoted the second time. But like that should be void because I like being reasonably like normal here. That like there's nothing wrong with that at all. My first demotion would have either been regarded as an accident or the fault of the devs, and they should probably take it that way because I shouldn't be taking fault for warning for a proper targeted harassment type thing. Like, if you guys don't want to warn for cracker, by all means, you can do that. I don't give a shit. If you encourage it, like by all means, and then allow everything else if you're gonna do that. Cause holy shit, like make a choice. Cause I'm not gonna say white people are oppressed, cause that's just blatantly false. That's stupid as shit. If you believe that, you're insane. Uh, but that doesn't mean they don't get harassed for being white. Racism goes all ways, and you should accept that because that's simply true. I'm not gonna fight or argue against that. And if you believe that, that's not my issue. That's your game. I don't give a fuck. But that doesn't mean you're like entirely immune to criticism, because now that you've actually stepped across the like line of saying, "Oh, I'm not banning people for the phrase cracker," uh, you allow people to go ahead and be actually racist and harmful towards insert group, which is targeted harassment, which would be against the rules, which is kind of annoying. And the fact that I have to even argue that is kind of sad. I'm generally more about like creative freedom and managing things however the hell you want, but like don't force that upon other people so that you seem right for it, because that's just wrong. And I'm bad at like arguing. I'm not the best talker, so I'll like get blown over. By the way, that happened all while I was on mobile. So I got demoted while like at gym or something, and it was extremely like random. It was so off. Like their timing with demoting me is so bad. It's just awful. They expect you to be there, but that's fine, I guess. because I do the same. That being said, I was essentially left on mobile to defend for my own reason as to why I shouldn't be demoted against essentially like a whole entire like pack of 4 or 5 people as to why I'm wrong for what I'm saying, which was crazy because I had to do that on mobile, which explains a lot. But you know how that went out. It didn't. That being said, with the argument that they were making, they were encouraging, not encouraging, but they were saying, "Oh, it's a joke." So, with that in mind, uh, I assume it's still gonna stay a joke if, say, a wave of people started like spamming the most racist things possible towards white people, and then let's see what they do then. That actually like goes through, then they've essentially just removed me because they don't like me. So I mean, I already like expect that, but like if you were to go into player general and spam cracker or be like racist towards white people, you'd prove a point from me because that's what I got demoted for. Not to say that you should, but like if you do ever get banned for being racist towards white people, they've essentially just went over their own argument, which is kind of crazy. That being said, I was demoted to de-escalate, quote unquote. So take with that what you will. And afterward, I essentially just kept silent about everything, and it blew over in about 3 days. And I kept quiet, and it blew over, but it didn't work because my point went and didn't get across, and it was used as ammo for me the next time I got demoted, which is stupid. Because if it was used as ammo for my second demotion, that means that the first demotion was not actually de-escalating, and lol rag just kind of misread what I said and banned me like just immediately. So horror kind of indirectly confirmed that for me, which they like to generally force silence upon the people they demote so that they can handle it. But like the first time I did that, it did not work, and it worked against me afterward. So I've essentially just left to literally ask him about it in player journal, which didn't work at all. He did not respond, like always. And that's exactly why I'm leaking mod chat right now as we speak, because fuck him. Along with that, I have a bunch of criticisms to go against on the how the ban system works because I've been arguing to actually make it better when it comes to Discord bans, and not a goddamn word went through to horror because most of the mods generally don't. I don't even know if they. I want to say that most of the mods are like lazy and don't want to click an extra time to do Discord ban appeals because I was proposing that they made like a whole entire different Discord for it. But essentially, what Horror did as a mock fix was to make a whole entire rule for cheaters in particular, so cheaters can talk. And we had to convince Horror literally like for how long? It was like 3 weeks or so? No, not even. 3 weeks is too long. It took like 4 days. No, like 2 weeks at most to convince him to make cheaters not speak because I don't know why that didn't come as like common sense to him, but we had to convince him for that, and the like pseudo fix didn't work because people, if you're banned from the Discord, you still can't get restores whatsoever, and he just rode by that. He was like, fuck you. If you're banned from the Discord, you don't deserve restores. But if you're a cheater, you deserve restores though. Low key, I think you deserve it. The reason I'm saying this is because banned people can make tickets. I don't know if that's changed or fixed now, but being banned from the Discord is a harsher punishment than actually being banned from the game and given the cheater role. Because at least you can still see like update logs, which is the sole purpose of it, and still DM people, so you don't have to be away from the server. Which is confusing as hell and could be solved by just having a different Discord and not having the role and letting the people go to that Discord in order to appeal. Bans normally and Discord bans as well. And then bring that stuff all the way back into the main Discord so you can log it. It's that simple. This being said, I've already proposed it multiple different times, and I don't think it's gonna suddenly gain like traction now. I don't expect a ban appeal Discord server whatsoever. They're just kind of just gonna leave it like that. I don't know how people are like, cause they stopped doing DM restores, which confuses me even more because on top of the surplus of mods getting DM'd, they've given the mods the go to say, okay, I'm not taking any more DM restores, but they didn't actually like make an announcement like about that, which didn't help when it came to like DMs that the mods got, like in the how like sheer amount of them, which which is stupid in itself, but that's another thing that I'll genuinely criticize within the rules because that's just dumb. That being said, anyone who's banned has to keep in the back of their minds that if they ever get a restore, they just can't. Like straight up, they just can't. Unless they would like to like have to make a new account, which literally make a new account. Lol is usually the defense for the severity of Discord bans, and I can kind of back behind it, but it's still extremely dumb because you will get chase banned. I'm pretty sure now. They've newly introduced not chasing, chase banning in Discords. In particular, you can get banned if you say anything outside of Deepwoken Discord. So, say if you're like debatable person already, and then the group chat gets leaked, you're just screwed, and you can't do anything about it. Just get fucked. Usually, like the group chat gets leaked moments. Usually are like genuinely like instant death amongst the mods. Like not amongst the mods, but amongst moderation. I don't know how. There are two mods that did get their like group chat leaked, and were extremely racist. I don't know how early or late it was, or if it was current or not. But things like that, they will take action on. So be cautious of that. Along with that, the IP rule, where you literally slap your face on the keyboard on the numbers, put three dots in the middle of the random assorted numbers that you put on your keyboard, and now you are suddenly bannable because that is stupid as shit and shouldn't be enforced as hard as it is. I don't know why it's even there in the rules still. It should be taken down. I'm sorry if that like stuck around. I don't even want to like not even like just get rid of the rule. I know it's applications, but if it's intentional, you'll know instead of seeing like a screenshot of a random dude saying random numbers and you have to look at the rules and say, "Oh, it's in the rules, so I have to abide by it." Cuz that's stupid as shit. And I genuinely when I was a mod, I would probably appeal you if you just did that because that's stupid as shit and shouldn't be a rule. Like there are mods that are like I don't know, maybe stick to the rules like they're supposed to, and I'm one of them. But like, if the rule is stupid as shit, why should I? I can give it an example. There are mods, not mods, but there are certain like rules, like temporary bans, where someone takes it too far and then immediately they take it back, but like nothing happens from it. So, like, say if you have something that's unintentionally harmful in your mantra cast names, you will be banned. You'll be banned for about a week at best. And even if it wasn't an accident, usually you'll get road like it'll stick. So you'll stay the whole entire week banned. But I've never actually seen a case of that happening. But I do know that can happen, and that's not an issue, but because it happens at the like discretion of the mod themselves, they get to do essentially whatever they want with it, and choose the warning depending on how the actual message is. Most things should vary and do, and that's fine with the mod team. But like, if there are things that vary and you don't know about it, but someone else does, it should be taken like not taken. I mean, not taken. What the hell is that? Taken more impartially. Another thing I hate about the rules is the confidentiality rule that mods are forced to keep when it comes to certain things that shouldn't even be kept confidential unless the party holding the information is guilty of something, like Discord bans or demotion reasons, which Hor himself said he'd be more open with, and we still have to ping him constantly and harass him just for like basic info that we should have had ages ago. Like there should be literally like a list of like official reasons why this person was demoted slash banned, which is what was awful when handled the first time because I didn't know what I was banned for the first time around, and I was just kind of left in the dark, and the same exact thing happened again, which is when I'll explain the next demotion because that's also an issue. The next demotion, I essentially got demoted out of nowhere with the message I'll show on screen right now, and the only like piece of proof I've gotten for my own demotion reason was a random piece of out of context arguments against someone in general, which I find stupid as shit that that's the only thing that you can actually send me because the confidentiality rule shouldn't even be like something that is held onto like firmly because what do you lose out of sending me the reason why I got demoted? Wouldn't that just be more like discrediting what I'm saying? Like there's no point. There's genuinely no point unless they just fed themselves like dumb things and then listened to it and said, "Hey, insert mod from insert friend group sent a bunch of out of context screenshots to get this guy true demoted slash banned. Like you should probably take a look at this." And they probably either believe it or took the information, did the action, and then never actually looked back on it or double backed on, and doesn't want to. They don't want to double back on it and correct their mistake, which is why I'll say, like outright, like just say at that point, "Oh, we don't like you. That's why we demoted you," which is a more mature reason than what the fuck they're doing right now, which is kind of sad. After I was essentially laid off, but quote unquote laid off. I'm not getting paid, bro. Quote unquote laid off. Alright, but once I was essentially laid off and demoted, I made a live stream in response to them essentially saying, "Lol, True Master Dragon 2 is a bigot. We have a bunch of proof that we are not going to send that whatsoever, and we're not going to explain ourselves at all. Goodbye." And afterwards, I made a essentially just a stream to prove it out. Then Ava and a bunch of her friends, I don't know what their house is from, who gives a fuck, honestly, came in and made the stream extremely like chaotic, and like they had me like the way the stream was like half-assed was like awful, but at the same time, essentially what the mods took from it was oh, he's actually a bigot because he's only making points against jamming and Veturer, which coincidentally have to be the LGBTQ people, but like with that mindset in hand, they're the only ones I've been arguing against. And it's not even because of that in particular, it's because of how they do their actions, which I'll get into later. But afterwards, I was just banned from the Discord, and I thought I was banned from the game, but apparently I wasn't, and I'm still not banned from the game right now. But as of now, I'm just banned from the Discord. Uh, I made a second stream to provide footage for this video right now, which I'm like randomly assorting and using within the video. And here I am. And also, this is all within the finals week, Christmas break, and me getting prepared for my next semester of college, which is the worst possible time for me to deal with this. It's kind of annoying. I'm not gonna act like they're the greenest green, like not green, but like the perfect angels that they like to make them out as. But like the way I'm being attacked, you should like I don't feel like insane for saying that they like to pull the political correctness card when it's convenient for them and when it helps them out, but not staying consistent, which is also another big thing that I kind of hate amongst not only the not the dev, yeah, no, it's the thing I hate amongst most of the team. For the select individuals will know who they are. They do not stay consistent whatsoever, but you know who it is. And I'm not even gonna like pretend, cause you know I'm not talking about jamming in particular. Jamming has a severe record of like logging your actions weirdly, and me personally, I don't actually hate jamming. I don't really care about what they do. They can be their own person, you know. Like I'm not gonna be telling them what to do, and I don't have any grudges against jamming in particular. Once again, but the main reason why I'd argue about it because most of the shit that I see jamming do is extremely questionable, and I shouldn't be getting ridiculed for questioning it in the first place. An example would be like jamming, taking something that looks debatable, and then I go into the guy's messages, and then I see some shit that's so much worse that you could have just screenshotted and then put as proof, and then I'm like, wow, okay, why the fuck do you not put that in the like first place? And then I'm like, okay, so now I've just questioned you for nothing because this guy just is what you're accusing him of, but it's not immediate, and you have to look for it. That, along with jamming, taking certain things a bit, like not giving them the benefit of the doubt, usually, which I like to encourage because it's just leads to less issues, you know, and that's why they're in this in the first place. The reason why they've gotten so much hate is not only because of how they like compose themselves in general in player general, but people just hate them because they're trans, and that's just like kind of a fact. It's sad that that happens, but it's something unavoidable, and the fact that it's a hot topic is also unavoidable. So I can't really do much about that. I am sorry, but at the same time, you have to like give me a break because you know the things I'm calling you out on. I'm not like targeting you or any special way, and you should be acknowledging that by now. But Veturer is an entirely different like, case because Veturer likes to go in and ban people. Usually it's a stretch, but it depends. And then there are times when they go around and then say, "Oh, there are a bunch of bigots, and I'm banning all of them." I'll look at their actions, and then I'll see a bunch of stretches, and I'm like, "Damn." Along with that, Veturer called horror a power bottom, extremely funny. But that was the result of Veturer's like firstborn, which that's kind of warranted. But I don't know what else he was warned for. I mean, demoted for. Horror says it was something else. After they do something extremely trigger happy, afterwards they just don't like take any questioning from anyone at all. They're like, "Lol, fuck you. I don't care. If you're not in my friend group, I don't care." And that's fucked up and shouldn't be encouraged at all. It's just kind of not fit for the team, which is crazy because I'm, yeah, no, I'll let that slide. Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? I'm the one not fit for the team, bro. Beyond being now that I'm demoted, I'm not coming back even if they want me to. That leads me to the like reward system that was given to mods in general. You treat white hats better than you treat your own mods, which is concerning in itself and shows a lot. You know, like genuinely speaking, that should be something you look into. Another thing to talk about is the actual mod reward system. I'm calling that literally just workless, fruitless labor. Mod work is not beneficial to the mod at all. They do not get paid. Being a white hat is more beneficial than being a mod. On top of that, there's a bunch of other outside things that generally white hats will do, and you just kind of need to know about it. Like, say, me taking a ban appeal. I mean, not a ban appeal, but a valid exploit report ticket or clip from a mod or a white hat. I have to like generally mods will not take evidence if it like just in general they won't take evidence from white hats that are using the exploit menu, which is another thing. Like I have no issues with that, but like you'll see mods that get straight up angry at you for taking entirely legitimate proof that is valid if it were to be valid. And I had a whole entire argument about that not too long ago, which I can't hate the mod for because that's also a general like conflicting issue that you'll see in the mod team. But that conflicting issue being literally like no communication from the devs, from the mod team at all, from the seniors. Actually, no, the seniors are extremely active compared to literally anyone else. Like you will not get that fast of a response regardless, even if they are like devs don't talk generally, other than Elytria. Elytria talks, but no one else does. You know, the main point is that mod team does not get paid. Any mod spec that you see, expect them to be get like absolutely like destroyed points wise for it because you know they will be. Like the point system to action system is kind of ass, especially because you'll be gambling your points on the mod shop non-stop more often than not. Generally, gambling points is the best use of your actions because most of the things that are on the wheel you don't get by choice usually. And there's stuff like 1v1 a dev, which it's there to say, haha, fuck you, you're never getting specs, lol, but white hats will. Especially because devs literally use their specs whenever they take that 1v1, or devs generally like choose they get to choose the actual like 1v1 and where it happens, and you just gotta have to sit there and say, wow, that's cool. And if they ever choose Deepwoken, oh, you're fucked. If they ever choose a normal game, you usually get a Tainted Sorrow at most out of it. That's the most I've seen. That's the most I've seen anyone get. You're not getting actual specs on like, say, we haven't even seen Unstable yet. No, not even. But would you even consider like an enchant like Unstable or Tainted Sword to even be a spec? Because at that point, I don't know. It's kind of confusing. Who cares though? You don't keep anything that you've once earned once you get demoted. So essentially, everything you work for it vanishes in a matter of seconds, which is also another thing. Because all the things that I got, gone. Everything like half a year's worth of work, gone. It's not like I did actually anything, but I wouldn't say that I did anything that productive compared to other mods. But like, say if someone who does a lot of actions like Sketh gets banned, literally all he's worked for ever gone. The only thing he's gonna get rewarded in is like what baby's money, fucking like what nothing essentially. Like there's no actual like tangible reward for being a mod. And hiding behind the excuse of it's volunteer work isn't enough. You need to reward your mods for actually doing the work they do, especially when you do what you do for white hats. It's extremely concerning and it's sad to actually look at that. Even after I'm a mod, I'm still asking for this because that's stupid as shit. And I'm mad for the mods that are actually working right now because they are not rewarded at all for what they do. Like, bro, you literally get rewarded on Roblox for winning a fucking tournament for volleyball, and you get paid bank for no reason, and I don't know why, but like shit like that, and then they're struggling to pay you in general is just kind of weird. But along with that, I think they're trying to pay with like solid, like actual money, same way that like what GPO devs do, where they have a Patreon, because they think that's a bit money hungry. Which I could say 100% without a doubt, yeah, that's fair. I can see that. Like you can't even get mad at someone for that, because GPO devs, GPO in itself is a fucking money grab, bro. Holy fuck, just cash grab alive. Like not even like close. It's crazy. I can respect the efforts, I guess. Like make your game as much as you want. You have your own freedoms to make your game as you please. But once again, that doesn't mean you're like void from criticism. I will call GPO a shit game because there are things that easily could have been done that shouldn't have been done. Like say Yami's moveset being entirely inaccurate and not even relatively close to One Piece. The Skylanders boss they keep adding, the terrible scaling, the terrible PvP, and I'm saying that because they say it's like Guilty Gear, or where like you'll get hit once and immediately die, but like at least Guilty Gear you have like the chance to leave that like one combo, quote unquote. And in GPO, the solution to getting infinite comboed is lowering HP, so it's now an actual combo instead of an infinite combo, and that's intentional now. Get fucked, and that's just like weird solutions that most devs have. It's kind of funny, honestly. But like that's not. I'm not in any place to like argue about that. That's their game. Who gives a shit? GPO is still like amazing VFX wise and graphics wise, but like gameplay, oh bro, don't like don't have fun. You only have fun if you're playing that game with friends. But you know, I'm not here to talk about GPO. That reminds me. This being said, horror usually is like kind of disappointed when most mods don't hit the quota, but I don't understand why he doesn't just like immediately like give them tangible rewards so that they have something to work for. Because if you want your mods to actually work, and for you to recently raise the quota and get more people banned as you do as the head mod, you should probably, I don't know, pay the people that work for you. I don't know if that's like insane to me. Like I don't know if I'm like an alien for it, but you know, maybe I am. That's enough about the like actual mod rewards. But I the oh yeah no observers shouldn't exist as a rule. When it was originally like added, it was added out like on a whim when horror was pinged by Arc one day and said lol observer role appear, and essentially the observer role was there. No one had it anymore. Like he added the language channels literally out of the blue, and the mod team wasn't ready for it. So we essentially just got ourselves to like essentially just chat mods or honorary mods. But like juniors could have done that if they actually got perms. So like if juniors actually had perms, we could have another different trial mod rule that would be like functional. So like there are people in consideration and not just lol they're observer, but they're actually kind of not, but at the same time they are. The reason I'll say this is because observers actually get points for warning, and I feel like that's why they fiend out for it. But sometimes you like there are times when I could just like look at it and be like, wow, they're getting a power high from being an observer, or they're just new and don't know, which is fair. But that wanes out after a while. So like you're in like a weird limbo where you're an observer, but you aren't a mod, so you're not doing restores, but you know most of the stuff about restores because you have access to mod chat. Like what like what Captain Mars did. Captain Mars essentially just got Observer worked up and is now a full junior. But I think personally that he deserves mod by now. It's been like a whole entire year. It's layer 2. Come on now.
From what little I've experienced with the devs, some devs are harder to speak to than others. Some are annoying to talk to, and some just like to like call me out on nothing and like single me out despite other mods doing exactly what I do. The reason why I'm calling this out is because in an ideal quote unquote workplace environment, you wouldn't have your fucking boss coming in there and shitting on you for no reason, you know? In particular, I'd say that it's just art. If I were to stretch really hard, I'd say maybe Elytria, but you know. With this screenshot right here, that I said that the devs don't care about removing flourish move stacking. He went out of his way to ping me in my chat to discuss me saying the phrase devs don't care. Because he keeps going on a rant about how, oh, that makes the game look bad, that makes the mod team look bad when our own mod is complaining about, say, a thing that would be reasonable to complain about. But he does it in such a like dickish way that's so fucking annoying when he does. Like, look,
Bro likes to say shit like, you're just a mod. What do you know? You don't know what you're talking about. I'm not a redditor. No, he called me a fucking redditor, which was devastatingly ironic. I genuinely like burst out into tears when he said that.
that I'm not finished typing at all, but he'll go out of his way to like, yeah, no, like multiple mods complain about the game often. That isn't something unseen, but you'll see him like complain about it to me because I'm in player general or something stupid like that. Who fucking knows? It's probably because he hates me. I don't give a fuck. But that's just often like that's what they do. And then
You'll see like another higher up appear out of nowhere to back him or to say, "Hey, true, apologize." And me knowing I'm not a fucking dumbass, if I don't apologize, my sitting as a mod would probably be compromised. So I like kind of just turn the other cheek and don't give a fuck. Rightfully so.
the fucking Arc and Elytria both appear out of fuck all nowhere, yeah, and then say true wrong, true wrong, true wrong, essentially, right? And when they do, they expect me to bring a Google Doc of proof as to why insert thing that you'd only know if you actually lived in the state would happen in the first place would have happened.
That just then was a clip from my second stream where Ark and Elytria essentially just appeared out of fuck all nowhere in the middle of an argument where I was saying that influencers spiking the housing market was a thing. And by that, I meant like most influencers, after they get rich, usually go into housing. And that does genuinely just hurt. But seeing as I'm me and they're them, it got heated ish. It was stupid as shit. I don't care. That also reminds me of the like random ass picture, like Lion being a little random little goblin shitter appearing in chat, shitting on me and vanishing. I don't know if it's genuine. I don't know if it's not. I don't really care that much. But that's the general aura I'll feel with the devs, where like there's an aura of judgment around like how early or fast I'm learning the shit I'm doing, and I get judged for that instead of like anything else. That's reasonable, but you know, honestly, like Blender Donut is generally like the least, not the least. I haven't done much progress in Blender, and I plan on documenting each and every single like bit of progress I have done. And I will continue doing it, but I don't think I'm gonna be continuing working on Roblox because Roblox is a shit platform, and I despise it for that. But yeah, there's not much to argue about. But like, whenever you speak to devs, whenever I speak to devs in particular, I keep in mind that they're probably gonna be like condescending as shit to me. But that's like maybe I'm looking too deep into it. Who knows? Another thing is when a horror comes into chat, there's like a 1 in 3 chance he just doesn't come in. He comes into chat, talks about meat, and fucking does fuck all, and it's really funny. But like times when he's actually needed, he'll just vanish. That is something he's done. It's not like a lie. But there are other like more reasonable complaints to have about horror in particular. Like he's not a god. He isn't like he does a weird and like most roundabout shit. It's so like odd. I don't get it. But horror is horror. I'm not gonna get mad at him per se. Like he'll his moderation like ways are weird in itself. Like random shit that'll do, and then whenever people want to like talk to him, it'll be like a game of telephone where you go to one guy, he'll tell you to go here, and then you go to the next guy, he'll tell you to go here. There's no like communication between him and the senior. Nah, no, I'm right. There's like not the best communication, but it's better than the communication with horror and the devs, which isn't a fault of horror, so I can't really get mad at him for that. At the same time, he could like use his brain for some of the shit that happens, like in mod chat in general. I mean, not mod chat in general, the rules in general, which I already complained about. But there's a few other like tiny little nitpicks I have. This is kind of just a salty, I hate everything part of the video. That's like what I feel like, but at the same time, these are like reasonable complaints. Me getting frustrated with the lack of communication in general on the higher ups of the mod team is entirely reasonable, and that does happen. That's not like something like you can kind of lie about. That's something we've been attempting to work on for ages. Nothing changed, still hasn't. But as I make this video, I hope that changes, but it's probably not. Uh, Along with that, a bit of the strictness needs to like come down on like other mods, like moderating other mods and like keeping them in check. Cause there's no, no. I feel like that'd be impossible to do. Like the shit that I can like ask Horror to do, it's either impossible or impractical. Other than the like Discord, the just ban appeal Discord or the ban Discord. But like with already how like annoying the mod actions are and how like thoroughly they're checked, I can't complain about it. When I point out that devs do that in particular to horror, I mean that like devs like to, how do I say it? Like they just like say, I'll write that down and then that's it. It's never to be seen again. You'll never see it again. It's not happening. And we'll bring it up next modcast for how little we do actually talk about modcast, and you'll see the same exact thing happen again. For the like short period that we did do modcasts, I know that some things did get added and they did help with moderation, but there's a lot of things that the devs could just add within like 5 seconds and they don't do it. But like I don't know if there's just I don't know if Roblox is just a shit platform where you can't move a button down without the whole entire thing like exploding, but the ban button should be moved down. And I'm amazed that hasn't already. But they might have done it with layer 2, but it's dumb to delay moderation updates to layer 2. But that's like a weird manav giving habit that they like to do.
This is the last like mini section of the video. And this part of the video, I'll be talking about Deepwoken investigator and why he's a fucking dumbass, and also a kid that likes to dock people. That's also extremely edgy. It's like everything you want to avoid in online shit. First off, he claimed, I guess, the doxing and jamming. I have no opinions on the jamming pedophilia. I don't have any opinions on the jamming pedophilia situation because Deepwoken investigator is involved with it, and I don't trust that shit whatsoever. It's probably organized like shit, so no one can actually out them. if it is true, and even then, the cursed saber shit also, I have no opinion on it because of the same exact reason. I don't know if they are or not. I don't even know if there's a Twitter account. There's no real way to prove it, and it's just gonna stay that way. My team doesn't believe in it, I guess, or cursed saber wouldn't be a mod, but believe with it what you will, I guess. Who knows? If you're organized correctly, then maybe you get something out of it. You know, if you're gonna go ahead and dock someone that you think is a fucking pedo, then expect your point to not be taken seriously whatsoever. Uh, that's the dumbest thing you could have possibly done. And Deepwoken investigator has done it multiple different times. It's really cool. I go out of my way to find the screenshots of it, but no, I don't think I care that much. But he was like imitating fucking Nazi logo of Wolfenstein for his weird ass Discord where people dox people. It's really funny. And I think he was also involved in the Ava doxing situation. So there are multiple different things that he's been involved in. It's fucking sad to see it. He also won't leak his full face because you know, look at him, he's a fucking kid. What else? Uh, there's so much. It's just like holy shit. Like bro's cringy as fuck. It's weird, and I don't stand with it, and I never will. And I guess that's kind of it. There's not much to say. It's just this guy docs multiple people and deserves to be banned. And I think Ark. No, Ark. He was trying to call himself a white hat, and then Ark said, "No, you're not a white hat," which is kind of funny. But yeah, those are the kind of people that I'll see being white hats, and I'll be like, "Damn, you guys work with these people." Because there are other white hats that are equally as bad, but same shit, honestly. But yeah, I think that's the end of the video. I plan on literally live documenting all my Blender quote unquote achievements. And what else? What's next? I plan on just streaming and having fun. I guess I'll stream on work, attempt to get better at streaming. And I guess that's it. Thank you for watching the hour-long shit show of a video. Uh, telling my side of the story, I guess. And I'll see you guys later. Also, by the way, by the time I upload this, I'll probably be streaming. There's like a 1 in 3 chance if my schedule like fits. So I'll be doing that. And I'll be talking with the chat when that time comes. Because I'm not really the most talkative person. Yeah. Thanks for watching my video. And here's a random unedited garbage part of my second stream. Actually, no. I should probably just put it into another video. I'll do that instead. I won't subject you to that. Sorry. Bye.
That's the end of the stream. Join my Discord if you want to see more of me. This isn't actually like a good demonstration of how I am as a person and how I want to do content, because this is just me more being serious. And take what you will from it, I guess. Feel free to watch my streams whenever, because I will be streaming multiple phone games, but it all depends on what I feel like playing at the moment. And other than that, think I'm done. Thanks for watching, and that's my side of the story. If I get re-invited to the Discord, I'll probably just join there, be active as I was, and return to the fucking Deepwoken player general goblin status what I was in Rogue. Return to my old days. No, I don't think I'm doing that. But, enjoy whatever streams I might be doing. And thanks for watching. Goodbye.